Our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. I'm going to walk you through the week ahead. It is Thanksgiving week. We have maybe a small travel snafu with some rain and maybe a little wind Tuesday into Wednesday, but a dry Thanksgiving looks on tap, so that is the good news there. We kind of pay the price for the travel up front, and then we enjoy around the region a very decent Thanksgiving day. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest, and here's my PM update there on CapitalWeatherGang.com, and a look ahead, quick forecast at a glance there, showing you the rain chances for Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe a little bit of wind as well, and then again perhaps on Saturday. And we'll get into the details as we look forward into this Thanksgiving week. Here are the temperature trends. Generally a hair below average more often than not this week. Mid to upper 50s is kind of where we should be this time of year, so we're leaning more toward 50 to 55 than closer to the upper 50s mark. If that makes any feels for the appropriateness for this time of year. It will feel like Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving, so that is something. Good evening, David. Thanks so much for tuning in from Facebook. The clouds this week kind of start moving in tomorrow, and we're socked in on Tuesday with potential rain, and maybe some breaks start to develop on Wednesday as the rain pulls away. Thursday should be decently sunny, but Friday and Saturday we could see some clouds re-enter the picture as well. Here's the precipitation underneath those clouds. Generally dry tomorrow, a stray shower possible by maybe dawn on Tuesday. We'll see how much the rain lasts into Tuesday night and into Wednesday, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. And the good news is we should be dry on Thanksgiving Day on Thursday. So we'll keep you posted if anything changes on these travel snafus that might develop on Tuesday into Wednesday. But the good news is Thursday looks pretty darn good, and even Friday as well. Happy Sunday, Kristen, to you as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Part of what we're watching for Tuesday and Tuesday night, the rain may focus on that time frame. We could see some rainfall be heavy enough to cause a couple patches of flooding. It's not a high likelihood as it stands now, but worth watching as we get closer to Tuesday and Tuesday night. Then for rain amounts, which is welcome rain, by the way, we are happy to see 1 to 2 inches around the region. Most of this in the next 7 days falls Tuesday and Wednesday. A little bit more may come in with our system potentially on Saturday as well. This helps fill in the rainfall deficit just in the last 2 weeks. As in the previous 2 weeks, we are 1 to 2 inches behind. If we receive 1 to 2 inches, we should break even again, fill in this gap for the last 2 weeks. But these rainfall deficits have been piling up. That's why drought has gotten worse on a 3 out of 4 drought scale there in the dark red in the central Shenandoah Valley. Very dry along the I-81 corridor. Michael, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will, look at the comments really quick, show you my PM update. I'm on Facebook, X, and YouTube right now. Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. My PM update is here on CapitalWeatherGang.com, or go directly to CWG.news/latest. I think I've caught up on all the comments from Twitter, X, Facebook, and YouTube. Please let me know if you have any questions on what we've discussed for this Thanksgiving week forecast looking ahead. Right, so we've got looking ahead in the longer term forecast for next work week once we're all back from Thanksgiving. Not a clear signal directly around DC either way if we're going to see precipitation above or below average. The takeaway from this is that the storm track is preferring to maybe lean southeast of town for rain potential next work week, and temperatures have a decent chance of being below average, maybe a little chilly again for next work week as well, which again this week generally a hair below average as well. So tropics still a little bit active, still watching one little thing. They're in the typical active area this time of year as we get toward the end of hurricane season on November 30th. This is where we typically could see some development, but only a slight chance, below 40% chance for this stormy area of disturbed weather to maybe develop in the next 7 days. The next named storm remains Vince. We haven't had our V named storm just yet. Sunset, yep, still getting a little earlier and earlier. Thanks for tuning in on this weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Now at 4:52 p.m., I'm on Facebook, X, and YouTube, Camden Walker, talking to you live for 20 minutes on our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Let's see, we've got Ilka, happy Thanksgiving to you from Facebook, thank you. And the rain this week will indeed, Rick, help our fire dangers. Let me look at this with you. We've got decent air quality expected this week as it stands now. And this fire in the kind of greater Lynchburg area, southwestern Virginia, generally going to stay under control. And by the time Tuesday, Wednesday comes around with the rain, we're expecting, and this is an explanation with the rain moving in, why we should see continued good to very good air quality in the greater DC region this upcoming week. So fingers crossed we can reduce our wildfire danger. Please remember in the meantime, tonight and through tomorrow, do not, if you can, don't burn anything outdoors. We have that elevated wildfire risk and spread of wildfires in the coming next 24, 36 hours until the rain can get going kind of mid-morning onward by Tuesday. So that was a great question, Rick. Thanks so much for that. All right, here it is, your forecast at a glance. Latest forecast here at CapitalWeatherGang.com or direct link at CWG.news/latest. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Thanks for tuning in from Twitter. I'm checking comments, Facebook and X and YouTube. I know, David, I can't believe this week is Thanksgiving either, which luckily looks like a good weather day, but we just have to pay for maybe some travel snafus for Tuesday, Wednesday rain, maybe a little bit of wind. Mike is doing his rain dance. It's working. We could see an inch or two of rain this week. We'll go into that detail in a moment. And this weekend in Williamsburg should be okay, Paul, but stay tuned as we get closer. Adandra, happy Sunday to you as well. And Lewis, let's see. I think that bill has not gotten out of Congress with the time change law. I believe it's still stuck in Congress, and I don't think it's on the way to the desk of the president for signing. But thanks for that, Lewis. It's been stuck for about a year. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Ruth Lisa. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I've caught up on all the comments now. Thank you, everyone. We're halfway through, it looks like, our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Now, temperature trends this week, a hair below average, kind of closer to the 50 to 55 degree range rather than mid to upper 50s where we typically are for this time of year. But Thanksgiving will feel like Thanksgiving. I love not sweating on these more fall and wintry holidays. So hopefully you are happy to see these fairly typical hair below average temperatures for this upcoming week. And clouds start moving in a little bit tomorrow, and definitely we're stocked in all of Tuesday and most of Wednesday, but Thursday looks better. Friday and then into Saturday we could start getting unsettled again with some clouds kind of keeping our limited sunshine on these short days, more limited for us. But rain here is welcome rain moving into Tuesday. Tuesday night is the main focus, could lead into Wednesday, keeping us a little damp. And here another system could move in here for the end of the week and the early part of the weekend. We'll keep you posted, of course, at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Slight chance we could see some heavy downpours cause some patchy flooding Tuesday into Tuesday night. We'll let you know it is welcome rain. The soils are dry and ready to receive and soak up much of this rain, but if rainfall rates get a little high, we'll keep a small eye on this for Tuesday into Tuesday night as well. Here are the rain amounts. Most of this over the next 7 days, most of this falls Tuesday into Wednesday. Part of this is for Friday night into Saturday. As it looks now, we could have another little rainy system move through as well, but confidence is low when looking that far out in exact timing and confidence in rain amounts that far out. All right, let me show you the rainfall deficit before I catch up on comments. 1 to 2 inches behind just in the last 2 weeks. This has been so typical of the last, multi-week period. The drought continues to get worse, especially in the central Shenandoah Valley. Now, a 3 out of 4 scale on how bad the drought is there in the I-81 corridor. And no surprise, that's why we've had some of these wildfires break out there around the, greater Lynchburg area. Culpeper, Shenandoah Valley, Shenandoah National Park as well has had a couple blazes to fight. I think near AP Hill down in Caroline County had a blaze in recent 10 days or so. But the good news is the smoke is contained. The fire is getting more contained, and the air quality should stay very decently good in the coming days around DC, especially as the rain arrives on Tuesday and Wednesday. This should help reduce, if not eliminate, our wildfire risk in the near term. All right, let's see. I want to put up for you, while I catch up on comments, latest forecast right here at CWG.news/latest. I'm on Facebook, X, and YouTube right now. Thank you for tuning in for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. I'm Camden Walker. Latest forecast directly at CWG.news/latest. That's my PM update at capitalweathergang.com. I'm on the air another 10 minutes or so. We're halfway through our weekly chat. And fair warning, I think I might take off next Sunday. So we might do 2 weeks before our next, usually weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Happy Sunday to you, Adandra. And we've got Peter. Hi, thanks so much for tuning in from Facebook. And Nikia, hello to you as well. Good to see you here on Facebook. And Michael, any below freezing mornings coming up? I think even this upcoming morning outside the Beltway for tonight, there could be some temperatures around 30 degrees. Leah, you're driving up to New York for Thanksgiving. I think you should be good if you can leave either well before, get the job done by Tuesday, kind of midday up in New York, or wait for the rain to start ebbing around here, being, diminishing. Maybe by midday Wednesday is a fairly safe bet. Steve, hello from Culpeper. Good to see you. Let me know if you're seeing any smoke from your hot spots. I think that's under control. Your nearby blaze is now better. David, that's very kind of you. I look forward to being with family on Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving weekend. That's very kind. So I hope you have a good Thanksgiving with your family as well, your friends and family. All right, checking Facebook, X, and YouTube. I've caught up on all the comments. Camden Walker for CapitalWeathergang.com. We are going through our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat, our roundup for not only the week ahead, but here's looking ahead to next work week, where precipitation, not totally clear signal. Are we below average or slightly above average leaning for the precipitation next work week? What I want you to take away from this picture so far for next work week, the storm track is kind of preferring to stay south and east of town, closer to the Hampton Roads area, has a better chance of precipitation than directly around the Beltway. And similar to this week, we have some chance, a little decent chance of being below average, maybe a little cooler than average next work week as well. So just keep in mind, closer to 50 rather than 60 for some high temperatures next work week as well. Tropics, still just a hair active as we are getting closer to that November 30th end of Atlantic tropical, basin hurricane season. Luckily, it's, ticking downward, but the southwestern Caribbean Sea is a typical spot we still watch for activity this time of year. And right now, the National Hurricane Center is monitoring this potential area of disturbed weather over the next 7 days, having a slight under 40% chance of developing into what would be our next named storm, Vince, letter V. We still have 2 more named storms on our list for 2023. And let's see, sunset earlier and earlier, now at 4:52 p.m. Can you believe it? I know we're all still adjusting just a hair to our lack of evening light. I hope you're doing okay with that after the time change. I'm on Facebook, X, and YouTube right now for CapitalWeathergang.com. I am Camden Walker. Thanks so much for tuning in for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. All right, Kristen, you have a great Thanksgiving and restful Sunday next week as well. Thanks so much. If any weather does come up for next week, I'll do a quick Sunday Sunset live on Thanksgiving Sunday, next Sunday, but generally I lean toward taking it off. Thank you. And Steve, great to hear no wildfire smoke around Culpeper for a few days. That is great news. I am glad to hear that. And speaking of wildfire smoke, air quality expected to stay very decent, if not fully good and green this week. This one plume still, giving the firefighters a headache down in the greater Lynchburg area, I think just several miles northwest of Lynchburg. That should be quelched and contained as we get more rain into the region on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's great news. We could, for the nearer term, put some of this elevated wildfire risk behind us for the time being. All right, let's look at your forecast at a glance. Tuesday, Wednesday could be wet and windy, but we pay the price before Thanksgiving to maybe experience a rain-free and fairly sunny Thanksgiving, mild-ish temperatures. It will feel pretty good. I think a great day if you're doing some same-day travel during Thanksgiving Day as well. That's the good news. The holiday looks good. Just getting up to Thanksgiving on Tuesday, Wednesday, we just maybe need to be nimble in our travel plans those couple of days. My PM updates right here. You can see it on CapitalWeathergang.com or go directly to CWG.news/latest. That's the direct link. Again, I'm Camden Walker for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat on the air another 5 minutes. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. I'm checking all three of those right now. We're simulcasting live and taking your questions and comments for our weekly Sunday sunset chat. Temperature trend is generally a hair below average, so closer to the 50 to 55 range rather than 55 to 60, as is a little more typical this time of year. So it will feel like Thanksgiving. Just have maybe that light sweater, light jacket. Generally sunny on Thanksgiving Day should, prove to be comfortable enough. And clouds, while moving in tomorrow, precipitation should hold off until Tuesday and Wednesday, which we'll get into in a second. But our limited sunshine on these short days of the year, I just wanted to show you we have clouds kind of dominating Tuesday and most of Wednesday. Thursday looks a little better, but kind of near the end of the week and early weekend, we could see clouds reassert themselves. And here is precipitation underneath these clouds, not until, even though increasing clouds come in tomorrow, we should wait until maybe dawn on Tuesday at the earliest for a stray shower. This could spill, the rain could spill into Wednesday as well. And as you can see, another little system there on Saturday could potentially move in here, giving us a few more drops. And we're keeping a slight eye on heavy rainfall potential Tuesday into Tuesday night. Widespread flooding is not expected, but it's worth, just mentioning we could see some downpours, and maybe a patch or two locations could see some brief flooding. We'll keep you posted, of course, at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Now here is the reason, 1 or 2 inches of rain, if it does fall in a confined 12-hour period, that's a little quick. Our soils, while receptive to the rain, they want to soak it up as best possible. When you get rainfall near this rainfall rate, nearly this heavy in a short time span, some of it does turn into runoff. So that's why we're going to just keep a small eye on things for Tuesday into Tuesday night. But look at this welcome rain. 1, 2 inches of rain. Most of this falling on Tuesday and Wednesday. Just a small contribution from that potential system on Saturday, which will keep you posted as we get closer. Rainfall deficit just the last 2 weeks, we remain in that consistent 1 to 2 inches of deficit. So just to break even for the last 2 weeks is this upcoming rain of 1 to 2 inches. The drought may be slightly dented, but it's going to take more of these rainy systems to really add up to getting rid of this drought this winter. So fingers crossed on that, but it remains very, very dry. 3 out of 4 scale severe droughts. Extreme drought, I believe it's called, in the red there in the central Shenandoah Valley along the I-81 corridor. All right, well, I check your Facebook, X, and YouTube comments. You can go to my latest forecast directly there or on CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We're doing our weekly Sunday sunset chat for another 2 minutes. Happy Thanksgiving, Evan. Jim, no problem. Tuning in late is fine, and I think Tuesday we could have stray showers as early as dawn. And it's still a question with low medium confidence how much into Wednesday. Maybe the rain should end by midday Wednesday, but please stay tuned as we, even one more day closer, we'll have a better idea of that. And Steve, I'm glad you're all good on the wildfire smoke. Excellent. The air quality this week looks like it's very good, generally in the green category. All right, so let's do one quick roundup here. Looking ahead for next work week, just so you can see, the storm track is preferred kind of southeast of town. That's where precipitation is favored to fall for next work week. And temperatures are leaning again, like this work week, leaning a little below average. That's not too bad this time of year. Averages still remain comfortably enough in the 50s. Tropics still a little active. Just want to keep you, apprised for those of you who follow along. November 30th is coming, the end of hurricane season, but still slight chance we see some development there in the Caribbean. Sunset times are earlier and earlier. And thanks for tuning in, your friends and family. Let them know these short links can get them to our simulcasts every Sunday night for our weekly Sunday sunset chat. But I'm probably going to take off next Sunday for Thanksgiving Sunday with family. So thanks for that. Unless something comes up, you might see me, but unlikely you will if I take 1 week off for once. Thank you for that, and I'll see you in 2 weeks most likely. Here's air quality looking good this week. This southwestern Virginia, kind of in the greater Lynchburg area, those hot spots and wildfires are going to get more contained, especially as this rain moves into the area on Tuesday and Wednesday. So this is great news. We can finally eliminate this elevated wildfire risk that we have been experiencing with low humidity, dry soils, dry fuels, on the soil being dry. Leaves are dry, sticks and debris that have fallen are very dry. So it's been a very bad kind of confluence of ingredients in the recent several days, actually a couple weeks or so now. We've had kind of little plumes and hot spots of wildfire smoke roaming our region. All right. You can go to CWG.news/hat Tim. I believe I do have one of our hat versions there for you. And you're most welcome, David. Happy Thanksgiving. You have a good time with your family as well. I will see you all in 2 weeks. Paul, thank you. If anything comes up next weekend, if it's looking like an active, next work week after Thanksgiving, I will see you, but unlikely. I can hopefully take off next Sunday, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks. And happy Thanksgiving, Evan, Paul, David, Tim, and Steve, and Jim. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in from X and YouTube and Facebook. Here's your forecast at a glance, just highlighting Tuesday, Wednesday is the rain issue with maybe some wind as well, but we kind of get some repayment on Thursday with a very decent looking Thanksgiving day. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. I'm Ken Walker signing off. My latest forecast up here and directly at that link. Take care and happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you in 2 weeks for our next Sunday Sunset Chat. Bye for now.